So Grammarly Go. Grammarly has quickly grown more popular than they already were with the addition of Go and the power of generative AI alongside their existing writing and feedback tool. So, similar to their writing suggestions, Grammarly Go shines when you give it feedback based upon the tone that you want it to use when generating writing. Now, it is important to remember, like all other generative AI tools, and especially these chat based ones, whatever they generate for us should be really seen more as a starting point rather than a complete document. So, at the time of recording, Grammarly offers their generative AI writing tool for free. But of course, Grammarly does have a premium option, which allows for more prompts per month alongside improved writing suggestions and what they're calling a more robust AI assistant. And so, as a free generative AI tool, we're just testing the free version in this video. But before we dive into Grammarly Go, I want to just review the demo prompts. So we're going to ask Grammarly to help us with these three things. We're going to do a little outlining and brainstorming. We are going to see if it can help us summarize or explain something. So we'll put our student hat on and see if it can help us understand something that might have been difficult from class. And then we're going to see if it can save us time with some assessment design. So we're going to try to get Grammarly to write us a rubric. So let's dive in. So once you're logged into Grammarly, and I do want to note at the time of recording, Grammarly Go is not enabled for University of West Georgia accounts. So I am in my personal Grammarly account to test out Grammarly's AI tool. So let's click on New. And from here, it should be hopefully somewhat familiar. We are going to move over to the right and click on Grammarly Go. So I'm not going to mess with anything. I'm going to leave it as neutral voice and not play with any of the settings. And this is also a place to note that if you're using the free version, you'll see how many prompts you have left for the month right here. And so with the paid version, Grammarly Premium, you can get more prompts per month. So let's dive in. Let's ask it to help us brainstorm an activity for class. So let's develop an activity for a college level calculus course about the limits of a function. So let's see what we've got here. So Grammarly has given us basically a nice little brainstorm. So it's tried to give us an objective. So hopefully that would align with what our goal is for our lesson plan. Of course, it's reminded us and good lesson planning that we need to let our students know what materials are required. And then it's given us a outline of what we need to do for the activity in class. And so as a reminder, and I've hopefully mentioned this in the other demonstrations, but it's important to remember that when we're using generative AI for teaching and learning, if we don't engineer our prompts and make them a little more specific, the AI is going to kind of assume that all teaching and learning happens in a face to face class. And so, if this was for an asynchronous online class, we would definitely have a little bit more work ahead of us if we were going to start running with this brainstorm or this outline. Now, if we're not happy with it, we can ask it to rephrase. And then if we are happy, we can click insert and it'll move everything here and let us start revising it. Or if you prefer, copy and paste it into Microsoft Word or a Google Doc. So let's start over and move on to our second prompt. So let's put on our student hat and see if Grammarly Go can help us summarize something. Now, of course, GrammarlyGo is more trained to generate text rather than to have a conversation. So with Grammarly, we're definitely going to get a response that's more aligned with a starting point if we were writing about a topic from class. So let's see if it can help us start writing about an explanation of the hero's journey in Star Wars. And let's ask it to provide us some sources to help us get started. And so that's a pretty concise paragraph there. But at first glance, it mentions Luke Skywalker and Star Wars, so we are hopefully off to a good start. And then as we wrap up, it is important to mention that generative AI is built on a language model, and therefore not all sources that it provides to us are going to be real sources. Sometimes they will be, sometimes they may not. So it's important to check and make sure. Grammarly's definitely done a good job of citing more written sources rather than just blog posts and things like that. So if we were happy with this, we could insert our little paragraph over and start revising it, or using it as a starting point for a greater written response to whatever we are working on. So that is Grammarly Go, and just as a another reminder, Grammarly Go, at least at the time of this recording, is not enabled for our University of West Georgia accounts. So if you want to try out Grammarly Go AI text generation, you'll need to create a personal account with a different email.